Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Friday, June 24th, 2016, around 7:30 in the morning, Billerica, Massachusetts. A very sunny day out today. Going to be in the low 80s, and the humidity level is going to be comfortable. Some news to report. Lowell Spinners are now 7-0. First time ever they're 7-0. And the Boston Celtics drafted Jaylen Brown out of California with the third overall pick in the 2016 NBA draft. And also tonight's the NHL draft from Buffalo. Watch it on NBC SN, the NHL Network, and TSN in Canada, and Rogers Sportsnet. And that's about it on news. My first video blog subject of the day is about ESPN's Hockey Today podcast. The Hockey Today podcast started in the late 2000s. It was originally hosted by a lady named Joy. I don't know her last name. And originally on the panel, it was Joy as host and Barry Melrose and Matthew Barnaby, and it was usually a weekly podcast during the NHL season, and they talked about everything, what was going on in the league, and the insights from Barry Melrose and Matthew Barnaby were pretty good. They told a lot of trade rumors about how the teams are doing, and then like predictions for the week. And once in a while they would have a player or a coach or an executive on the Hockey Today podcast. And during the summer months, they only would do one or two Hockey Today podcasts during the year. Around the early 2010s, the Hockey Today podcast changed host. Scott Burnside, who was also a writer for espn.com, took over as hosting duties for the Hockey Today podcast, and he usually had Craig Custins, a hockey writer from Canada, and Pierre LeBrun, who wrote for TSN in Canada, and like Katie Strain and Joe McDonald as regular panelists. And usually the Hockey Today podcast format was usually they would have 3 periods. They would talk about the major news for the first period and some minor news for the second, third period, and sometimes they would go for overtime, and then shootouts were usually questions that they got from the fans of the Hockey Today podcast, which they would tweet them, and they were pretty interesting. And usually the Hockey Today podcast is anywhere between 30 to 60 minutes long during the season. And it's like Scott Burnside does a great job as host as the Hockey Today podcast. And he has a lot of great banter with Craig Custins and Pierre LeBrun. I get a lot of great hockey information about that. And the interviews they've had on the Hockey Today podcast over the past few years were very, very outstanding. They would interview a lot of great players on there, and some coaches as well. And they've been debating the recent ones about the expansion team to Las Vegas, and they had some pretty good insights about how that's playing out. And they also cover Stanley Cup finals and then the playoffs, and then they'll probably do the NHL draft, which is probably going to happen tonight. And they've also had other great insights as well, and it's a very good podcast. I always listen to it when it comes out, and that's about it on ESPN Hockey Today podcast, and I'll be back later with 2 more video blogs coming your way. First video blog will be about top destinations for vacations in New England. That's a Facebook request for a video blog from one of my Facebook friends. And the third and final video blog of my night will be the last personality profile in the month of June. It will be about ESPN Sports Center anchor Al Duncan. Keep calm, everybody. And I'm a Julie Button guy. Molly Rosenblatt of WCCO rocks and has nice legs. Elizabeth Hatzo, so stunning. She's the best. Amy Swansea rocks. Elizabeth Hawkins of Fox 25 is awesome. Julie Gower, Fox 25, has nice legs. And Linda Church is such a cool guy. And in the words of Dee Patel last week, no bust. See you later.